Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks D&D Seaborn. So the next day comes along. Yes.
I was just saying hello because my mouth was full before that.
The next day comes along, and right at dawn, the mermaids are out there waiting by your boat. Just kind of hanging out and playing in the waves. There are about a dozen of them.
Inspired by the legend that Albert mentioned, I had actually spent the morning finding like a big watertight tub and tying a rope around it.
What sort of tub are we talking here?
Something that can hold
From
water.
a bathroom. Come on, Neil.
So, like, a big barrel or a bucket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a a laundry tub, you know?
Oh, like a wash basin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like this big
How do you plan on sinking this wash basin full of air?
I didn't say I was going to sink it full of air. I just said I was tying a rope around it.
You have a rope around your wash basin.
I also find a giant rock.
Yeah, how big of a rock?
This big.
Okay.
And I tie it to the rope.
Below the basin or on top of the basin? Okay.
Below it.
Okay. So when the basin
Like
is facing
like a-
down, it would hang
Like a hot
below
air
it.
balloon.
Right. Like a reverse... No, like exactly like a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's how I was told in the legend of Karate Addition that's how you could breathe underwater.
What was the name of the legend again?
Karate Addition.
And what's the name of the sea captain that does this maneuver? Something about the four winds?
Yeah, something like that. The captain, captain of the four winds. The legend of the four winds, it even goes.
Yes. Yes. So, the mermen are out there. You guys hop in your ship. The four of you plus Saffron, I believe you're taking her with you?
Sure.
Why
No?
not?
Yes?
I'm telling
No?
her she can come and she doesn't have to follow Bruno through the hole. She can stay with me on the ship if she'd rather.
I encourage her to stay back as she is not combat trained.
She says she is invested in these portals, and if they go where you think they might go, she wants to go find Barthas and show him what's what.
Oh, suit yourself.
Okay, and Saffron, this is a offer to you since you're so interested in the portals. It seems like my teammates plan to stay back and wait for me to report back, but I wouldn't be against you coming with if you want to be one of the first ones through the portal.
Oh, I'm happy to let you be first. What level are you, Bruno?
4.
Okay, so you can cast Lasting Breath on 4 targets.
Mm-hmm.
With Saffron, that makes 5. Does she?
Right.
I can stay on the boat with a backup lasting breath for the second wave.
Shouldn't you be casting Lasting Breath on me then? Since yours is not as good.
Well, that's the thing. Shouldn't you cast it on the group? Let me think about
That's right,
this.
both of you have Lasting Breath.
Yeah, but I'm like level 2 wizard, so I can't cast it on that many people.
I mean, the initial plan was just to make sure that we don't die when we go in.
Yeah,
So-
I think between the two of you, that you've got enough
Yeah.
castings. You cast it all at the same time. Whoever gets Jen's Lasting Breath will have it last a little bit shorter. But you can still target everyone.
Would you rather have me cast lasting breath on like you and
Well, I prepared Lasting Breath 3 times today, and that's my entire
okay.
spell list.
Then I think you should I think you should then just cast it on the group. Go ahead. I stay back. If we need another lasting, let's say you throw the silver coin. I have another lasting breath. We can still go through. We don't need you to come back, and then we meet up.
Yeah, and plus we don't really need Saffron.
The boat rows out to the area where the portal is supposed to be. The mermaids hang out and splash alongside you until they signal that this is the place. You circle around, drop anchor, and just as everyone's getting ready to go overboard, Saffron kind of perks up, looks around, and goes, what about the boat?
I'll stay on the boat.
But what if the portal goes all the way through?
The boat won't go all the way through.
She's saying someone might steal the boat.
Yeah, who's gonna stay at the boat while we all go through the portal?
I am staying at the boat.
You don't want to come?
You are as well, Saffron. We can only cast Lasting Breath on 4 people.
I mean, the goal of this expedition is to discover what's on the other side of the portal. If we have long business to attend to, we should come prepared with probably more men than just 5 of us.
She
Yes,
nods.
this is a reconnaissance mission. We will return.
She nods.
Well, I'll stay on the boat.
Okay, so Bruno, you are the one to do it. You're going. You're the scout.
Right. I kind of make sure to get a few merfolk attention by kind of just yelling like, "Hey, over here!" And then I put out those fingers as a reminder.
4.
Okay. I cast. I'm going to try to get one of the merfolk to. I'm just gonna wave around for one merfolk to. Like.
You have his attention. Its attention.
Yeah.
Okay. You get an enthusiastic
And
nod.
then I do the portal sign.
Yeah. I dive in through the.
As you do the sign that you're going towards something, I like my character straight up like precipitate himself to like do the portal.
Okay, I cast Lasting Breath on the 4 of us, and then I jump towards that merfolk.
All right. You dive down, and as you go, she grabs you by the hand and helps pull you down deeper and deeper into the blue waters. You see the portal jutting out of the ground, this big black hemisphere. Nearby is a dead crabman with a couple of spears through him, just kind of floating in the water nearby.
Great, I let go of the merfolk's hand and then swim through.
All right, you swim on through. It is dark and it is cold and it hurts a little bit while you go through this, but within like a quarter of a second, you're somewhere else entirely. You look around, there is this large black hemisphere behind you, and blue waters all around you, and you think you can see up there is probably sky and surface. You know, there's still light coming through, so you can't be that deep.
All right, how long did it take to get down here?
It took like a round and a half. And then
So a minute 30, you mean?
Yeah, minute 30. What do you do?
Do I think that I can cast a spell while floating on top of water?
Yeah, if you were to relax and float on the surface, you could cast it again.
How high does the surface look? I mean, I know it's not a perfect science, but do I look like I'm enough that I can just go up there and say
you feel like you can
human?
get up there.
Okay, cool. I'll swim up.
All
Make
right.
sure there's no enemies around, and then I go up.
You look about. You don't see anything unusual. Just a nice coral reef, kind of fishes and eels cruising around. You make it to the surface and breathe in fresh air. You're not sure where you are. You've never seen this landscape around you before. But I'll tell you what you do see. You see a mountain off in the distance, and that's pretty much it. You've got a mountain, and everything else is just water. And wherever the coastlines are, they are beyond what you can see bobbing in the water. But you do see a mountain that juts out, maybe, judging by the position of the sun, somewhere to the west? Hard to tell if it's northwest or due west or something like that. But westward, there is a mountain.
Okay, well, I cast Lasting Breath on myself again, and I go back down, and I will go through the portal if there's nothing else. If there's nothing exciting else that happens.
There's nothing exciting else that happens. And you
Okay.
pop through the portal. There's the mermaid there before you. She blinks a little bit in surprise, takes you by the hand, and swims you back up.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh my god, Bruno didn't throw the little penny. He didn't come back. He's probably dead. See, we did good staying back, guys. Prudence over adventure. Self-preservation is key. We only
Well-
have one life. Not solo.
While Albert's talking about how it's a good thing they sent Bruno first and, save the rest of the party, he surfaces, hearing the conversation.
Oh, here you are. Can't say
Yeah, I figured out when I went through the portal that throwing a coin in would be pointless because it would sink into the floor. Then you guys decided to stay on the ship.
He has a valid point.
Anyways, on the other side, I have some good news and bad news. Good news is I didn't die. The bad news is there are no maidens anywhere around.
What a surprise! I wouldn't have guessed that in any circumstance that on the other side, near water, there's no maidens waiting to be captured.
The mermen seem to be trying to get your attention from down below.
I do the communication thingy.
What happened? What'd you see? What's going on the other side? Is it our home?
Like, Bruno, what did you see? Describe it quickly.
I saw water everywhere, and then a mountain far off in the distance.
I point towards, like, all the water around us, and I'm like... And then I do a... And then I go, oh!
Yes, the silver spike in the sky.
Mhm.
Yes, that sounds like home. Oh my god. I think we can go back. Are you going to come with us? We're going to go test. We're going to find out, and if it is what you say it is, we're going to move home.
I look back to Bruno and I say that they think they know it's called the silver bag. It would be the way home for them. Do you guys
Well-
want to follow them for a quick adventure on the other side?
Doesn't seem to be much point. There's not much there except water. It would be a good place for our mermen, but not necessarily for us.
So you're saying you absolutely wanted to cross the portal, but I have no interest in what's on the other side now that you saw that there's water, which was to be expected.
Well, I expected land too.
There's a mountain.
Oh, far off in the distance, I imagine.
This is a land we can explore. I thought you wanted to move. I thought you wanted to solve the mystery. What happened to all of your adventureness?
The lack of maidens made it significantly less interesting.
I think we should... You proved me wrong. You were right, and we should follow your expertise and go on the other side as planned.
You'll have to remind me. Let's see, what was it?
What do you think I'll
You'll
do?
have to remind me, Saffron, what was the significance of these portals?
Well, the portals allow things to move through them, and if this is actually the mermaid's home, this is the source of the crabmen and the source of many other things in the area. Not to mention the person who was looking for this book is the person who killed my former master and seems to kind of be maybe a bad guy considering he murdered her and burned her house down. And he made
This
these
would
portals.
indeed qualify as a bad guy.
Yeah, and these portals appeared around your home. It seemed suspicious and horrible, and I thought you guys were the sort that wanted to do something about it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Don't you, Bruno? Don't you think this fair maiden over here has a good idea? Of what we should do? I say that with the big eyes. And then I look at her magical stuff and I'm like, fair maiden.
Okay, well, it can't hurt. Let's go through. Good thing I prepared 3 casts of this spell.
Let's give it a maximum of 7 days of exploration, so we have 7 days to get back. What do we do with the ship, though?
We can have Saffron directed back. I don't believe.
But I
You
want to
would-
go through the portal too.
Okay. Albert here can cast a lasting breath just for you.
Well, okay. Why don't we? Saffron proposes that you guys go back, grab another person to take the ship home. Maybe the mayor of New Zealand
Yeah.
or Zuniland,
Hmm.
and then the 5 of you depart.
But then how would we get back to shore?
By having the merfolk help us, or by swimming. It's close enough to swim from here, right?
From here to shore is it's a few miles. You are hardy
Oh.
adventurers, so you can do it as long as the seas are calm and there's no sharks. Sharks can be a danger in the open ocean.
Yeah, I heard the legends.
Mm.
I've heard that sharks can kill people.
Is Jess coming back?
Is Jess asleep?
Is her cam on? I thought it was frozen.
No, I
No, her?
think she's asleep.
Oh, how cute.
Jess!
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 Let's take a break while we wake her up.
See you guys in a few moments. Why, hello everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks Seaborn.
Indeed, welcome. Thank you for your concern. Jess is fine, but she's going to go ahead and take a rest for the rest of the session. We're going to play without her and just update her. So, Neil, you'll take on Algrind as an NPC.
Yeah, I will take care of Algrind and make sure nothing too unfortunate happens to him.
I think that we just lost that cam, so is that going to mess up?
Yes, that messes up every screen region.
But you know the good thing that happened with all of this? We found someone to take care of the boat.
That is true.
Thank you, Jet. Thank you, Algren, so much for volunteering. I've always come to you as a true friend. Really proud to have you on the team.
Yeah. Does anyone have a device in which they can open the Zoom call just to give us a fifth cam?
No.
I had my iPhone stolen, so normally I could do that really quickly, but I have not re-downloaded Zoom, so I can do that really quickly on my phone and then open another cam.
Well,
But in the meantime, let's recap the story.
Sure. Also, in the meantime, Anna, why don't you slouch a whole bunch to bring your camera into frame? There we go. Perfect. And the rest of you guys are good. Except we're all different people now, but that's fine. So.
What a day. What a day. So anyway, to recap, Jen, you're really good at that. Recap for us.
Yes.
Yeah, so we found a black hole.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Bruno went through it and survived. Saw a mountain. We came back. I explained there was a mountain to the merfolk. They said it was a silver spike. And they knew what it was, and they said their village was not too far away from it, so they're very excited and they want to move back home. Meanwhile, we decided that we want to investigate the black hole, and we needed to find a volunteer to keep the ship or handle the ship, bring it back, do whatever. And graciously, Algren, who is a little bit tired and didn't want to go through the portal, wanted to be there for us to heal us if we wanted to go back. Volunteered to keep to make sure the ship would be all right.
Saffron goes with you instead. Lasting Breath is cast by Bruno on the whole party, and the party descends through the waters, propelled by the merfolk, and through the portal out the other side. And
but before we go in, I tell them before we even do that, I have a series of experiments that I want to perform. So I take a stick of some sort, and I'm going to... Well, actually, do you have any of those whale bones lying around? I'm sure we do.
Yeah, there's some whalebone right at the base.
Okay, cool. I'll do the usual, insert half the whalebone first, and I'll pull it back and, presumably half is gone. I'll just toss the other part of the whalebone in, and then I'll toss the whole whalebone in, and then I'm ready to go in.
Okay, these things are done. You proceed through to the other side. You look around, and sure enough, there are fragments and segments of whalebone.
Make sure to go in first, and I want to see what it looks like when people come in.
All right, so you go first. You see these fragments of whalebone about you, and you look back, and you see horns, and then a head, and then just a person through this blackness, as if they were... as if they were coming into existence only fragments at a time. But surely...
Is there a whole whalebone here? The one that I threw in?
Yes, there is. And soon enough, all four of you are out on the other side and making for the surface. You see behind you are plenty of mermaids coming through. Ooh. Hey! Perfect. Whoops. Double Anavision. Ooh.
Wow.
We're just gonna mute that video so it's not distracting. There we go.
Yeah, I muted everything now. I was just figuring it out.
Cool. And you guys find yourself coming to the surface in a strange land. You can't see much of anything other than clouds in the sky, gently rolling waves, and this clear mountain off in the far distance. But the merfolk swim about you, in circles and help you float on your own.
Cool. And I guess, are they going somewhere? Like, can we just like keep grabbing onto them? Like,
Yeah, they will help you. Do you give them any signals or any communications?
What do you think? We direct them towards the only land I see, that mountain. Does it look like land?
It looks like a mountain. Like
So
a
presumably it's
mountain
connected
covered
to
in
land.
mountain covered in like a glacier at the top.
we need to be sure to be able to find a way back, though. Back to the hole.
Okay.
Oh.
And there might be a reason why the Kraken are retreating.
Not retreating as much as not coming in. Maybe because all of them came in already.
Wow.
Anyway.
Where do they come from is the question. Let's go.
Anyway,
Alright, I point them towards the mountain. That way.
they grab a hold of you, and you are swam. You are swum. You are swimmed towards. What would the proper?
Swam.
You are swam.
Or swum.
You are swum.
Either one I think is correct, but now I'm second guessing. Past tense of swim. Swam. However, when the word is preceded by a helping verb, it changes to swum. As in, I have swum to the island every day. So I swam to the island every day, or I have swum to the island
You've
every day.
been swum?
So I have.
You are swum to the island or the
There
coastline.
you go.
All right.
Have been swum to the island.
Okay. You are swum. You're all swum. Just soon
swum.
enough, you guys find yourself within sight of a coastline, and minutes later, you see a small fishing village coming into view. It looks like there's a nice kind of flat, like plain, flanked by forests on either side. And the mermen bring you up onto shore, maybe a mile away from the little village that you see.
So some quick questions. About how long did it take us to get here?
You were probably being swam by the mermaids.
We were being swum.
You're being swum?
Because it's a helping verb.
Yes.
Being, to be,
Yes.
swum.
Well, isn't to be not a helping verb? It's just a verb.
No, because
I think any verb is a helping verb.
so if it was just swam as the verb, she swam, he swam, I swam. If he has been swum.
Basically, if any verb is before swam, it becomes swum.
You are all swum to you swam for an hour, I think. God,
We swam.
Oh,
the verbiage is
Oh.
killing me here.
Okay.
No, it's not an hour. It's like 2 hours or 3 hours.
Oh,
It's actually a
wow,
long
okay.
time at sea, a lot longer than you would have expected. But the mermaids are cool and they're chill about it. They take you to this coastline and
Okay.
deposit you on the beach, and then they kind of wait
then-
around for you to catch your breath.
Then I do the sign of tomorrow. Sun up, sun down. We're meeting at the beach, and I'm gonna have comprehend languages because we're done for the day.
Yeah, they give you a
Can you-
thumbs up and splash in the water and disappear.
Is that something you can only prepare once per day, Albert?
Yeah, I mean, I get 3 spells per day. I could get 3 times comprehend languages, but then I wouldn't have lasting breath.
Oh, that might have been useful. I mean, I cast all 3 of my lasting breaths today.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow what I could do is take 2 comprehend languages and 1 lasting breath, just in case, you know.
Oh, well, no, I've got it. Okay.
I'd rather split it amongst 2 spellcasters.
Okay, that's true.
Like, we never know when you're gonna get knocked up, and
Yeah. Although your lasting breath can only cast on 2 people, right?
Did you say knocked out or knocked up?
Both Neil and my faces
whatever, knocked up.
Knocked up means something very different, Jen.
You might meet a mermaid and have a good time, you know.
were.
So there's 3 hours of swimming,
hmm
swimming.
The the swim Sam sea song brings you all the way to the shore.
Seashore.
And you are there resting as the mermaids depart. But you see coming down the beach are a few humans from the village.
Oh shit! Sorry.
These are humans who are maidens from never having been mermaids.
Yes.
Are they maidens? Is there?
They are mermaid tail maidens.
Yes.
What?
They have never had a mermaid tail, therefore they are maidens
Oh.
of never having had a mermaid tail.
Yeah, correct. One of them looks very innocent. I agree with you.
I do not understand this innocence of which you speak. However, I do understand that these people have likely never had mermaid tails.
In a certain way, you're kind of innocent from your lack of experience.
There's 6
Although
people
they're
coming towards
friends.
you,
Okay.
and now they're carrying spears.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they weren't carrying spears, and then poof, now they're
Poof, spears in their hands.
It's okay.
We've angered the gods of Zoo Nealand.
All right. So we're gonna look like we're coming in peace. Everybody, please stay calm.
I do not look like I'm coming in peace. I pull out my halberd and hold it casually.
Okay. They stop.
Are they still far away? Can I cast detect magic, or is it gonna be weird?
It's probably going to be weird anyway, but you can do it.
What
It's
if I
okay.
turn away from them so that I just look very mysterious?
So
and
you
I'm
just
kind
look like you're doing this with your back to them. Because that's how you cast detect magic, is with the arm waves, you know.
Are you sure I'm not that much of an expressive person? I don't think my character does big gesture. I think he's more of the kind of
Well, I think you might not be the sort of person to do that, but the components for detect magic involve waving your hands around in the air like
Is
you
it
just don't
really?
care.
Let me see what it's
Detect magic takes somatic components, which involve movement of your body and arms.
What's the other one? The M?
Verbal. M is material. V is verbal. S is somatic.
Oh, okay. So it's like detect magic. And I don't have anything in my hands, correct?
Right. So you wave your arms about, look at them, you detect no magic on them whatsoever, and they
Okay,
stop.
they're not magical.
Well, yeah. So the path
I
is 60
see.
feet long, so you can only detect magic. Actually, yeah. By the time they stop, they're still outside of the range to detect magic. It's only a 60-foot
That's
long
fine,
path.
but it lasts for a while, right?
Yeah.
2 rounds per level. We're good to go.
So they stop about 100 feet out.
I wave. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was doing a big wave.
And they shout the distance. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we just came out of the water here. Are you okay?
Yeah?
I'm
What's that thing with you?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's part of our group. It's a friend.
When she says it, I poke her with the tip of my halberd very lightly.
Her. It's a friend. Her.
The half dozen men approach with spears. And they cautiously walk up, spears like in hands as walking sticks now. So not threatening, but still armed. And say, were those mermaids that brought you to shore? We haven't seen
Yeah,
their
we're good
kind.
friends from them. No.
We haven't seen their kind around here in months. What's been going on?
Aha!
Is this where Evelyn's from?
I feel like we can both help each other, actually. We never had mermaids from where we come from, and suddenly they popped up, and we ended up here.
Well, that is an interesting story.
I feel like we need to catch up.
Were you and
Most
the
definitely.
merfolk on good terms?
Oh, they like to keep to themselves. They didn't really bother us too much, but occasionally a sailor would go overboard or get, knocked out in a storm or something. They would dutifully carry any of them back home.
They're good people.
Wonderful folk. Love them to death. Kind of shy. Don't really like to socialize.
Hmm.
I think
I
it's
guess
because
they
they
were-
don't know how to speak. They ain't got no vocal cords,
Yeah, that's
They
the
just
thing.
got them gills.
Yeah, they're a little bit slow, but they're really nice people. Really
Them
nice.
gills.
Well, I got some good news here. Maribel here loves socializing.
I do enjoy socializing.
How tall are you again?
7'1" or so. Let me.
They look up at you and go, "Well, you guys come here for the reward? You look like you're a regular born wyvern slayer."
Oh,
Wyverns.
you guys have a wyvern problem.
That's right. We've come a long distance for tales for this reward.
Well, it's about time someone does. I suppose you already know what the prize is.
Well, why don't you refresh our memory to make sure we're all on the same
Sure
page?
do. We came a long way, though. Do you think you could throw in anything on top of that?
You don't even
Excuse
know what
me?
it is yet.
I am not the one offering the reward. It's the court wizard. He set up all the details with his Baron's blessing, of course. Never does anything without the Baron's blessing. Good old man. Yeah, that damn wyvern, had a whole little clutch of kids, or what do you call a baby lizard? Hatchling? It had a whole little clutch of hatchlings, and well, now it's just going about and ripping up the place. It's snatching people, snatching animals. It always used to, but now it's, instead of like one person every month or so, it's a couple of people a day.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Wyvern's been haunting the whole area.
So what's the prize again? What's the latest?
That their court wizards offered up I should really say the Baron, through his Majesty Archbarthus, has offered up a magic sword, the Baron's own magic sword, in reward for slaying the horrible beast.
I would like
Now,
to
of
have
course,
that.
I knew that. You'll have to forgive my companions, but when did he put up that reward? When was this notice formed?
Well, I think the wyvern has been, it's chicks or off. I don't know what you call a little lizard. I'm sorry. It's lizardites. It's babies. Were born maybe a couple years ago, and the killings have just gotten worse. The reward was initially offered at 600 gold a couple years back, but was recently upped because no one was finding the wyvern there to kill. Let's say 4 months ago now. Almost about a season ago. Yeah, about a season ago.
How does that correspond with when the storm was?
The storm was afterwards.
Okay. Probably
Does that mean you guys have lost 120 or more people since then?
Well, I don't rightly keep numbers, and the wyvern doesn't just come and harass our town. Actually, we've been fortunate enough to be kind of outside of the wyvern's killing range. You see Ice Cap up there? He says, pointing to the large mountain. Well, wyvern lives up there, and so it usually picks from the towns and villages closer to it. We're pretty far out here, so we're fortunate enough not to get it. But yeah, I'd expect something like 120, 150 people will be dead now.
Have I ever seen a wyvern before?
You have heard of wyverns in myth and legend. They are basically, how do you want to describe? They're like 30 feet long, not including their tail. Their haunches maybe 10 feet high. They stand on two legs. Their wings are their arms, and they've got like little claws at the very end of the wings, but they don't have like four legs. They've got two legs and then the wings. So kind of like a bat. Their tail is a very long, slender tail with a big-ass scorpion-type stinger at the back of it, and they are known for their incredibly deadly poison. Not to mention, they're 35-foot long flying lizards. Distantly related to dragons, they don't breathe weapons or cast spells, and they're not as bright, but they are just as, well, not just as dangerous, they are dangerous.
So, would I generally have a sense of how foolhardy it would be for a group like us to try and fight a wyvern?
Well, their poison is said to be able to kill a person. You think in a toe-to-toe fight, if you just stood there hacking at it while it hacked at you, you would probably be dead very fast. In a toe-to-toe fight.
So we would need a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So whereabouts y'all from?
So yeah, that's the interesting part. That's why we have to catch up so much. Have you heard of any crabmen comings and goings lately? Like less crabmen than before, more crabmen than before. Changes in the fauna, maybe, besides the mermen.
Well, yeah. There was a nasty bit of a storm a few months back. It ripped up the waters, made them unpleasantly warm. Well, I thought they were pleasant, but the fishermen said all sorts of fish were dying. And, we used to have crabman problems occasionally. Ain't had one in ages now. Not since that storm came, really. Now that you mention it. It's also when the mermen disappeared. We all thought there might have been a correlation, but we also thought maybe just the mermen and the crabmen all died in the storm. Some sort of magic underwater storm.
Neil, the mer people complained that our water was too warm and smelled of blood, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then I say, well, you see, might surprise you. Don't be too shocked by this. Maybe you want to sit down for this, actually. I'm starting to take your accent. That's very weird. I don't know why I'm responsible. Mixing French Canadian and you guys' accents. Anyway, we come from. Have you heard of the portals?
Portal?
Openings undersea?
No.
Ah.
What?
Well, you see, we come from a land far away. What's the name of our place? Let me see.
Zooneland.
Valuton, New Zealand, from the Spice Islands.
I have no idea where that is.
Port. Let me find something bigger and
bigger.
bigger.
What kingdom is that in?
What's our kingdom? Let me see. I wrote it at the beginning of my notes.
Farnelia.
Spice Islands. Arcadia. Arcadia?
Farnelia. Arcadia is the continent. Farnelia is the kingdom.
Okay, we are from Farnelia.
Or even more specifically, Arcadia. Have you heard of where Arcadia is?
Well, you're on Arcadia.
Well, that's good news, at least. We're from the kingdom of Farnelia. Have you heard where that is?
Certainly, you have come a long way. That's on the other side of the continent. On the other side of Arcadia.
That's the thing, actually. You see, we too had the storm, probably when you did. And then I say, like, a few months back, whatever. And then I say, and when the storm happened, we suddenly have crabmen popped up alongside mermaids and mermen.
You don't say. Are those portals you were speaking about how you got here? Because I didn't see a ship out there, and there ain't no storm recently. Yeah, we were wondering how you got knocked in the water. We thought you might have been pirates who were, tossed overboard.
Good one. No, not at all, not at all. We've been good folk trying to understand this issue. Because you see, I'm a magic user, and I've been very curious about why these portals have been happening. And I felt that, knowledge is power. And I wanted to investigate this.
Most definitely, most definitely.
This is why my party and I went over here.
Well, look, you all seem like kind and virtuous folk. Why don't you come on back down to the village with us, and we'll have a pint and talk about this proper rather than standing out here in the middle of the beach.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fantastic. Come on this way, guys.
Good man,
all right, let's go this way, guys.
They lead you to the little fishing village called Chum. It is small. You see maybe a dozen houses, a few other small buildings beside that, including a tavern in which you are brought. All right.
Do you have some rare local ale over here? Something we wouldn't find in our part of the lands.
Well, I presume everything over here is rare local ale for you, or rare foreign ale for you, seeing as you're from so far away. Why don't you try some of our house ale? It's certainly wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds great. Neil, by the way, I will take a little sample of this to reproduce it and become rich.
How do you take this sample? Where do you hold it?
Aha! Well, I have some ceramic vials, 10 of them that I...
Boom. Okay, you can vial up on this ale.
Vial of rare ale from super far. Perfect.
All right, so everyone gathers to hear your story, ask you all sorts of questions, and regularly just kind of badger you with things. Anna, well, I take it back. Bruno, you're a human, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Annabelle, you're getting a lot more attention, which is kind of to be expected. Not Annabelle, Maribel. You're getting a lot of attention from these people, but this time it's a little less repulsive and a little bit more curiosity and wonderment. Albert, you notice that people are kind of giving you a little bit more room. Like, they're talking to you, but they're casting you a lot of suspicious glances. And there's definitely a lot of pointing and whispering about Albert and more kind of like open wonderment at Maribel.
Do they seem
Bruno,
repulsed by me or like
wary, I think is the right term.
wary?
Yeah. Bruno, you get a couple of people pulling you aside, trying to separate you from the others, and they start asking very prying questions about your companions. They ask you specifically if there are a lot of foxes where you come from, and if you've seen Albert associating with foxes.
No, can you tell me a little bit about these foxes? I don't think we have very many from where I come from.
Short little creatures, red hair, pointy ears?
Not native to the Spice Islands, right?
No. I mean, you've heard of a fox before, but yeah. Long bushy tail? Like little dogs?
Why is that important? Are the foxes evil? I make evil?
No. Just, there have been strange fox creatures look like elves nearby recently. Just want to make sure that your friend here is a real elf.
No, I guarantee you, she is 100% elf.
You sure?
0% fox. Yes.
He leans in close. There's been shapeshifters moving about lately. All number of people that were not people moments ago.
Huh, you know what? Even though I've known her for years, it's possible, I suppose.
Can never be too careful.
I'll make sure to have a look out, but I think he's most likely an elf. Almost certainly.
Keep an eye on him. Maribel, you're just getting the usual sort of, oh my god, what is this thing? But more excited than angry.
And also, don't worry about her. She's not a fox either.
Do I hear
now,
that?
Why is it that the foxes don't try to impersonate humans, though?
That's my question.
I ain't wizard. I don't know that stuff. I'm just telling you what we all been seeing around here. Around these parts.
Are there any elves in this town?
Not a one.
Any elves in your general kingdom? Oh, none whatsoever.
Well, the hell do we come from?
Are there any non-humans in this kingdom?
Oh, certainly. You should go take a look at the gnomes of Pine Spur. They have done wondrous things with Vulcan Lake. Wondrous things.
No.
Have you been to Pine Spur before? Have you been to Vulcus Lake?
It's our
No, like
first
you've
time.
noticed, we're from across the continent. So you've got gnomes. Anyone else?
We got gnomes, we got dwarves, we got halflings, we got plenty of humans, and now we got one elf and what's got to be a minotaur. Half minotaur.
Do I hear this? I don't know if I'm in this conversation or not.
You weren't initially, but they kind of did. You could have been roped in partway through.
Cool.
When they were whispering about Jen, they're quite quiet, but once that passed, they kind of opened up and relaxed. A half minotaur.
Indeed.
What's the other half?
Human.
How's that work?
Well, a human and a minotaur engage in sexual relations, causing the fertilization of an egg. That egg then becomes an organism that is...
You were hatched from an egg?
Well, not hatched per se. Are you unfamiliar with reproductive cycles?
Well, sure. The moon turns about. You know, bed down for the night, wake up partway through, and 9 months later, there's a little kicking baby.
I suppose then a minotaur and human bedded down for the night. And I was the result.
Just that simple.
Indeed.
I ain't never thought about sleeping with a minotaur before.
Well, that's when I come in and I kind of pull him from the shoulders. I'm like, well, I mean, some people are into different things, you know? I ain't judging.
I bet those minotaurs sure are horny folk. She doesn't laugh.
I do indeed have horns, yes.
You didn't think that was funny?
I admittedly am not familiar with many forms of human humor. However, I only understood you to state the obvious.
That's fine.
You-
Don't worry about it.
You're not a horny sort of fella?
I am indeed. I have horns, but I am not a fella.
Never mind. It's lost on
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Thank you.
Is there anything in particular you want to get out of these people?
I mean, I want to talk. I talked about the portals, all the stuff. I guess I don't have a map of the world, but now I kind of have a good idea where we are, right? In relationship as to where we come from. Or you said the other.
Actually, you know, you've been around for ages, Jen. You're
Yeah.
150 years old or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and I have like navigation and cartography and shit.
Yes, you would know where you guys are.
Direction sense.
No, but
seamanship.
you've been around long enough, and you've seen things. You've seen things no one has ever
Okay.
seen before.
All right. So we're good. I just wanted to make sure I could identify where we're at. My last thing was Saffron. How do people deal with her? They just don't care. She's
Here you
here,
go.
right?
Oop, yeah, Saffron's here. She's hanging out and just kind of staying behind you guys. She does seem a little antsy and a little bit
Yeah.
nervous, but she's just trying to keep a low profile.
Then I go back up to her and I'm like, so, have you inquired to find any leads? What are you looking for here?
First, about where you are. You've traveled far and wide. Once you've got the name Pine Spur down, you know that you are on the island of Gade. It is in the northeast corner of Eridon, the largest kingdom on the continent of Arcadia. And this is a map of the area that you should be able to see as soon as I zoom to the appropriate level.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, you are quite far from home. Very, very far from home, actually.
What part of the Gade Isle were we on?
You guys are down beneath the Direwood near the Lindell Plain.
Okay, I'll try to find out if here's what I'm aiming for in general conversation. Have these people ever been able to communicate with the merfolk?
Nope.
If they have, no.
Nope. Merfolk do not talk to them.
You said something about a court magician. Does this court magician have the ability to talk to merfolk?
Oh, you mean Ark Barthis? Yeah, I don't know. We don't see him very much. He lives over in Pinespur. Hangs out with his lordship.
How far away is Pintsburg from here?
Pinespur is about 15, 16 miles. You can make it in a day. Real easy like. There's a trail. Wagons go on down towards this Pinespur. Goes through the woods a little bit. Just yeah.
Do you know where the merfolk home was before they went away?
They are secretive creatures. Trust me, we try to find them. I mean, once upon a time, my ancestors tried to find them for their skins. That was a long time ago, though. We don't do that no more. But we ain't never found them.
Oh, so that mountain in the middle of this island is so big that it's what led us here, huh?
Well, yeah, you can see a mountain from miles and miles and miles out at an ocean. Yeah. So, any other questions you have for these people? Any other information you're trying to pump from them?
I'm gonna ask if they heard of anybody named either Phaedron, Martha, or Maribello.
Well, didn't you say her name was Maribel?
Maribello. A famous writer that studied the arts of things such as portals and wrote really good books.
Nah, I ain't a scholar. I ain't never even read a book myself. Well, the
And
other
what-
names were
about the
Martha, the goddess.
No, a sage named Martha.
There's a lot of women named Martha these days. It's a popular
But a
name.
sage? No. And how about the half-elf named Phaedron? Someone with
No.
slightly pointy ears.
Mm-mm.
That's
Mm-mm.
too bad. That's too bad. Do you have any sage to hear about, like, somewhere around here?
I
Maybe
think
some-
Pine Spur has a sage in it.
I am interested, if you are finished, Dark Albert, in learning a little bit more about your wyvern problem. What has been tried in the past to eradicate them, what seems to work, and what does not.
Oh, ain't nothing been tried. People are too damn scared of that thing. You know? I mean,
Nobody
most of
has
us
even
are just...
attempted?
Well, most of us are just farmers or fishermen. We were hoping that reward would bring some folk about. I think a few people did come on through from Weatherlight, and they tried some shenanigans and didn't go so well. The wyvern picked one of them up, stung the other, took off, ate the guy he picked up. But you know they didn't look all. They looked more brave than dumb, more brave than smart. Like they got more muscles in their arms than in their head.
Does Pine Spur not have a military or a guard which deals with such things?
Well, you know, the Baron's old, the Sheriff's old. They got some folks all right, but you know, things actually haven't been going all that well the last couple decades.
Do your people seem to respect their leaders?
Well, everyone here loves Baron Arthen. Arthen Grayson. He's been Baron for he must be 90 years old now. He's been Baron for a long time.
Does he have a successor?
His face kind of drops. He goes, "No, no. His wife died long time ago, and she must have died like 40 years ago now. And about 10 years back, his last heir died. Some people think he was murdered, possibly murdered by the Darton family, if you know what I mean. Their Darton family and the Lindell family are looking up. They look like they want to, you know, replace him since Baron Grayson's the last of his line and he's 90 years old. Some people suspect that they murdered his son.
Why are they next in line?
Well, there ain't no one else around to take the position. The Queen will have to appoint someone, but...
Who is
No.
the queen?
Oh, you folks really aren't from around here. Queen Sanguine. She lives down in Stormheim.
Sanguine.
Queen of all of Eridon. Mm-hmm.
Do we know that name?
I don't think so.
Eridon is this region?
Eridon is this kingdom. So,
Kingdom.
yeah. The continent of Arcadia is broken up into 6 major kingdoms. You guys are from one. This is another.
We happen to be accomplished leaders in our own realm, and would happily offer our services to keep order here.
Well, you could start by killing that there wyvern. That thing is a mess.
It does sound indeed like a so-called mess.
Magic sword. Offering up a magic sword.
Could we not use said magic sword in defeating the wyvern?
Well, I bet that would make it a sure lot easier, but what's to keep you from running away with it? I suspect is the reason why it's offered as a reward and not as a tool to help. You know? It's one of them prove yourselves worthy enough sort of thingies, I suspect.
About how many people do you have in this here town?
Not a lot. 140 at the last head count.
And about how many live in Pine Spur?
Oh, Pine Spur's a mite bit more populous. I think their numbers are reaching 1,500 this year. Them gnomes breed surprisingly fast for little fellas. Have you ever seen gnomes? Little short guys, 2 feet tall?
Yeah, just like little bunnies.
Pine Spur is mainly gnomes?
No. It's all mostly human. You got about, I don't know, a couple hundred gnomes, maybe 100 dwarves or so. Smattering of halflings about.
Do you know anything about their immigration policy?
Emma, what?
You know, if if a group of people wanted to go live in Pine Spur, would that be easy done enough?
I suppose as long as you can get some land. I mean, not a lot of people come to Gate Island. Actually, our population's been shrinking now. In part to those things that show up in the night.
What more problems? This island doesn't sound like a tropical paradise at all.
Well, we had crabmen problems and the crabmen all went away. And these other issues have been here ages. It's just age in leadership and decline in military. The little problems that are out there are just getting a little bigger and a little bigger. We have some dire wolves. They used to just hang out in their forest, but their numbers have started to grow again. I'm telling you, the times are getting dark. Things are not looking good. So yeah, you can come on out and immigrate. There's land here if you want to be a fisherman. We got plenty of room in the village.
Okay.
What do you have in mind, Bruno?
Well, I was thinking you could build a little shack, and we could get a separate room for each of you, and we got some boats, and you could just become fishermen like us.
A tempting offer. We shall consider it.
We can go get another round. And he disappears, leaving the 4 of you to discuss.
So, Saffron, have you found any leads yet? What's your plan here?
Didn't you hear him? Didn't you hear him? He said Barthas. He said Barthas twice. He's here.
Barthas?
He's the one offering the reward.
And Barthas is the guy. Ah!
Weren't you listening?
Yeah, I was looking in my notes and I had the wrong name all along.
This Barthas, that sounds like an interesting name. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Barthas?
Have you guys forgotten everything? That portal out of your brain, Barthas killed Thadrin.
Yeah.
Burned her home down. He wanted that book on the portals. He's probably the one that made these portals happen.
We should have a word with this guy.
A word or a battle?
Poor Neil, and thank God for Saffron. I'm sorry, Neil. I had it in my notes.
No, it's fine.
I have so many names now.
It's been 3 weeks since we played last.
Yeah. I had the wrong guy. That's why I asked about Phaedron and Martha and Mary Bello.
It's okay.
Apparently there was a Barthas in there that I kind of missed.
No one pays attention to plot. Everyone falls asleep on stream. I see.
I
see what
have
sort of
it
DM you
with
guys think of
another...
me.
Oh man, I was so close too. Had been working with a sorceress named Barthas. See, I have it. North Eridan, communication via letters, visit by Barthas. Saffron has cantrip and a scroll. Alright, cool. We're good. Yeah, Barthas!
Saffron continues. Well, if we want to talk to this Barthas fella, if you all think we could bring down a wyvern, that'd be certainly a way to get him by surprise.
Yeah, for sure. You wouldn't see it coming. And do note that he is a sorcerer.
Do you, Saffron, know anything about wyverns and how they may be defeated?
Well, I believe the wyvern... God, I cannot do it. I can't do it. She says that wyverns have 2 great strengths. Their poison in their tail and their ability of flight. Those are really the two things you need to negate when dealing with them. Because they're big, and they
So
can just take off.
we need to think of how to chop off their tail and wings immediately upon interacting with them.
Or trap their wings, or trap their tails,
Or chain them to the ground.
yeah.
Or have some sort of neutralized poison. Poison neutralization things. Any of you an herbalist?
Is Algrind with us right now, or is Algrind on back on the boat?
On the boat.
I was gonna kind of just not look at where Algren is and then put him where we need him next
Okay.
week.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask if Algrind has any abilities that would help there.
Maybe. But I think Algren's just kind of incorporeal somewhere right now.
Okay.
Contemplating existence.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no way of defeating Wyvern.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we could go back home, regroup, see what we got, and come back here, and then.
If we were to bring very large nets and some help, it sounds like we may be able to immobilize a wyvern.
Maybe. 30-foot nets, huh?
Yes.
Pretty far.
Can you think of any
Yeah.
other option? It sounds like we cannot talk to Barthas without defeating this wyvern.
What's to stop us from just walking in? We're visitors from across the continent, and we have some big news.
I mean, there would be that, or we could just. Then I lean in and kind of whisper, we could just track him and find out his habits and kind of see if we can find the lady. Phaedron? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Phaedron.
Walking right in sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, he's a
nods.
public official. Should be some way to set a meeting with him.
And if he's
When he
looking
rolls
to,
on.
if he's looking to get this thing killed, most certainly he'd like to answer questions about it.
Then we should meet with Barthas.
What's the
We have
plan?
about a week, right, that we plan to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
So let us go speak with Barthas now.
Do you think that merfolk can read common? I asked to the group, not to these villagers, of course. No, they don't even speak it. Never mind. That was a dumb question.
No questions are done.
Saffron asks you
most of them are.
what you expect to. What are you going to say to Barthas?
I plan to tell him that we are here to kill him because he killed Phaedron.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
All right. What do you think?
Well, first of all, we want to find Phaedron. Doesn't mean that Phaedron's dead. I fear that if we go talk to Barthas, we're gonna unveil our intention, our identities, and he's gonna want our death because we come from the portals. Like, we need to figure out why he wanted to control portals and what is he looking for really? What does this guy want in life?
Well, if he wanted to kill for the books, it's likely he wasn't the one who created the portal, so maybe we can work something out with Barthas.
Or maybe he just wanted the book because he's a sorcerer and he's the one who created the portals. And as soon as he got the book, he made them.
I believe we should simply go and speak to him. Perhaps we can masquerade as wyvern killers and get close to him enough to start understanding him.
I think it would be fun to just reveal to him that we came through the portals as well, and that he might be
Why?
interested in that.
Why would
Because that's something that sorcerers would be interested in. Otherwise, we don't really have anything interesting to tell them.
No, we want to kill the wyvern. That's good enough. You know, information is power, and giving away information for free should come at a price.
Okay,
Making it
and
not free.
that price can just come at the cost of him telling us what he knows about the portals. We can have a
Well,
information
we know
exchange.
he's evil. Why would we tell him?
I know you're evil, Albert.
It's a fair point. Fair point. But I mean, maybe we can ally with him. You know what? I think
Exactly.
we should come clean to this guy and tell him, whatever, man. Good job on the portals. Let's do great things.
How does
Right.
Saffron react to us
Let's-
saying we want to ally?
Let's take down the dragon together and get all the fortune.
Hmm.
She does not feel very comfortable about this. Let's ally ourselves with Barthas. Talk. She looks visibly upset.
I mean,
You see, maybe this is a big misunderstanding. Besides, there's no evidence that Barthas even killed your former teacher. So a talk with him is exactly what we need. Of course, we won't mention anything about Saffron, and we probably won't want you to show up just in case he did kill. But
I
first,
am
we should
Saffron.
find out. What was that?
I am Saffron.
I'm sorry, I meant your teacher.
Thadrin. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, Phaedron, yeah.
How about this? We should take a brief recess, and then we should go speak to Barthas and start out by telling him that we want to kill the wyvern and get the reward. And then if the opportunity presents itself, we ask about Thadrin.
Saffron nods enthusiastically. And we'll see you guys on the other side of our break.